Viewer discretion is expressed for the following program. If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution while viewing this program, because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children, and not for coworkers either.
It's over. He's done. I killed him. It's a terrible Donald impression.
That's not good. That's not good.
That's bad. Real bad. I can do China.
Hello, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is rumble.com/JJW. We talk about stuff in the mornings at 8 o'clock. Whatever.
You mean do it on? Hey, let's hang on.
I just gave up. I've already given up for the day.
JJ's already given up. Yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. JJ and I are your two dads. We have known each other for about 10 years. We are yin and yang.
Okay.
We have certain things that are exactly alike, but we have certain things that are complete opposite on.
Yeah.
And even though that we disagree with each other and call each other names sometimes, we still love each other and respect each other's opinion and decision. And that's what we do here on the show. We talk about some of the other crap that all these other podcasts are talking about, except we do it and don't care if someone gets mad at us for using the wrong word.
I think we've gotten past initially, like last year, it was like, I don't know if we should be doing this show. I'm going to get in trouble, right? And that's gone. It's now just like, I don't care what anybody thinks.
We tell you the truth. We tell you the truth.
We'll try. We try to.
Yeah. Yeah, we try to tell you the truth and we try to keep your eyes open on
some
stuff.
kind of truth.
And sometimes I'm wrong. I have been, and sometimes you're wrong. We've been humbled by
my wife tells me that
by people in the chat and stuff before, and we're not one of these people. It's like, you're banned because I don't like you, or we've never banned anyone, or
you guys talk too much about hair growing out of parts of your body. I'm never showing up again. And you know what? He kept his word. He hasn't been back.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All
Tell
right.
us about music, and then we could talk about news. You know, it started off this morning with I was like, there's not really a lot of news. And then I started looking around, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. So we got some interesting stuff to talk about.
Do you remember jukeboxes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There was a jukebox in a Waffle House when I was a kid.
Yeah. So the jukeboxes, for those that don't remember, you could put quarters in, dollars or whatever it went up to, and you pick the song and it would play the song. But if the jukebox was not fed money, it would go on random and just pick some random song from its, it would and play the random song. And my brain does that at night when I'm asleep, because I'm constantly feeding it stuff to play music in my head all day long, that at night when I sleep, the jukebox in my brain goes to random mode. And there's a helicopter flying over. This is a no-fly zone. This is weird. So this is weird. That's weird. I wasn't expecting to hear that over my head. I was like, what does that sound? But anyway, this is the song that woke up that was on random in my head this morning, the song. And I was like, you know what? That's a perfect freaking Halloween song since we're doing Halloween.
Yeah.
And I thought, dude, Psycho Killer by the Talking Heads.
Oh, that is a great song.
I woke up this morning and I woke up and grabbed my glasses, and the first thing that went through my brain was, I've just been going, Psycho Killer.
Yeah, that's a great song. Oh my gosh, I haven't heard that in a while.
David Byrne is a genius. He's a music genius. There was this thing a while ago that was, this is like 25 years ago, and I remember reading about this because I really wanted some. They were these little. There's another freaking helicopter. There must be some important people coming over here. It's not supposed to fly over here. It was a little sensor that you could put on a table or a wall, and it turned that into a speaker. Okay. So you could put this little sensor on your table and turn on the music, and the whole table turned into the flat surface became a speaker and would amplify the music. It was a really cool concept and really cool little invention. David Byrne put on a private concert and wired up the whole building used these to wire up the walls of the building and the floor to be the speakers.
Oh wow!
In this concert, David Byrne did.
I was watching a video a couple days ago. My daughter got for a birthday present. She got a little, like, one of those little music box things. You open it up and a little thing spins around, and it's got a wind up music box in it. And she was asking me how it makes music, and I was like, oh, you just wind this up, and then you open it up and it makes music. She's like, how does it make music? Oh, I was like, oh, okay, I love this stuff, because anytime my kids ask me questions, then I just go straight to the most complicated thing. I start explaining.
Yes, you do.
Friction. Yeah. And So I was like, let's find out. So the music box, most of them are made with these combs and things. So they have these, and they've been around since like the 1800s, and they got really, really clever with these things and miniaturized them. They're made with combs, and the combs have different weights at the end of the comb, and then as the little tumbler tube rolls across the combs, it goes ding, 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 and makes the little sounds. If you just have the little motor by itself, it plays the song or whatever. You take that thing and you put it on a hollow box or a table, like you're talking about, and it makes the device that it's on into an amplifier.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
So, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, and I just thought it was really cool. It reminded me of that when you were mentioning
that is cool,
David Byrne's little story. So, like, we've all played with like music boxes. Everybody's turned a music box around. But you can take that little thing and put it on like a table, and then makes it.
I know you haven't, but if you ever like had some time to kill and you saw like a Guitar Center or a music store, just go into one and just look at all of the new types of musical instruments and stuff and the new stuff that they have made there's so many new percussion instruments that have come out in like the past 20 years that I'll go to Forks and be like, what the crap is that? It's really,
really?
Yeah. It's technology's really done a lot for music too. Sinister Minister's Werewolf bonus song is The Animal by Disturbed. Disturbed was one of those bands that I think was highly underrated. They're a very, very good band, but they were just kind of shoved in our face with like one or two songs on the radio over and over and over and over again. So that's all you heard from Disturbed. But listen to their music if you like some good rock. It's not really heavy metal, but it's not really, it's not scream metal, but it's not, pop rock. It's good rock music, heavy rock music. Disturbed. Why have you got that look on your face? I'm concerned.
Well, I'm looking at this guy's face, and he's got metal things all through it, and I'm just thinking that might be like edgy and like cool JJ, and stuff when you're like 20s.
You do not judge a book by its cover. This video was made like 20 years ago. This song's like 20 years old.
That's my point. He's gonna be like 40, 45, and like.
Hey man, I have seen.
It's nothing sadder than an aging rocker.
I can show you pictures of two of my buddies, my good friends, that you would be like, come here, kids, come a little closer. No, don't go over there. Come closer to me. You lock the doors. If you look at both of these people, I used to tell my friend Reed, one of my favorite things to do is to go out in public with you, because I get to watch how everybody reacts to the way he looks, because he didn't look crazy. He didn't have tattoos all over his face. He was a Native American reenactor, and he had a woodcut. It looks like a top knot, but when he wasn't reenacting, he grew his beard. He looked very strange. And so many people judge books by its cover, but Reed, both of my friends are one of these people that if you were to walk up to them, a complete stranger, and go, hey, I know Deacon. I'm a friend of Deacon's. I need your help. They would be like, what you need, brother? What you need. Even if you weren't, I'm a friend of Deacon. If you're like, hey, I need your help, they'd probably be like, you need a shirt? Do you need my shirt? What do you need? My shoes? I got a pair. They're comfy. Don't judge a book by its cover.
All right. I mean, Yeah. I mean, mostly I just think like,
I'm being serious. I wish
I know
I
you
could bring
are.
both of these guys on the show. My other buddy Tilson
You
looks like a
can.
Harley Davidson
Internet works
rider.
everywhere.
He's the sweetest guy in the world. The best dad. Man.
Whoops. Here we go. All right. Let's go. Let's talk news. I mean, like sometimes judging a book by the cover is appropriate because that's just your regular judgment.
All right. Very, very. That's what humans do. We do that.
All right.
I will give you that. But I'm resist that willpower to be like, maybe that guy is not. Maybe he trust your stomach though. I trust your gut.
Yeah. Trust your instincts. Your instincts are there to keep you from being dead.
Yeah, I'm not saying go up to every guy. I'm like, oh, you ride a Harley? Right. That's cool. Can I ride it? Don't do that shit. You know. But
can I borrow your bike for a
minute?
Can
I borrow your bike for a minute? No, don't do that.
All right. So as we have been talking about, much to our disinterest, the House has yet to elect a speaker. I mean, I'm happy about. I can't speak for Deacon. I'm totally happy with them not having a speaker. Not having a speaker means they're not making up printing money and buying stuff that we don't need right now.
Do you want me to tell you how much my life has changed because we haven't had a speaker this last week?
Has it fallen into calamitous ruin?
Guess how much my life has changed. I'll give you 3 guesses, and 2 of them don't count.
No noticeable difference yet.
Johnny, what do we have for him?
Wait for these mortgage rates to roll around and then to like devastate the economy as people can't afford like an 8% mortgage. All right.
Hey, man.
I think there was a story yesterday.
Wheel always rolls back around.
Yeah. Oh, choo-choo, baby. All right. So yesterday, the Republicans were working real hard to find somebody to be speaker. I guess it's a job nobody really wants or wants anybody else to have. And Tom Emmer floated to the top, and Tom Emmer was going to be the nominee for the Republican Party. And they went into their little secret backroom thing, and they whispered among themselves, and they played telephone or whatever, and they're like, Tom Emmer. And then the GOP conference said, okay, we're going to nominate Tom Emmer to be our House Speaker. And then Trump, and this is Tom Emmer right here. Let's pull Tom.
He's a Republican representative from the 6th District of Minnesota since 2015.
Minnesota, eh? He's got to be pretty level-headed, huh?
Woofda.
Oh boy, Minnesota, eh? Yeah. So Tom said, okay, let's go. I'll do that. And then Trump weighed in, and Trump said, don't vote for Tom. Tom sucks. He's the worst. He's so terrible. He's a globalist rhino. No way. And then hours later, they didn't even have a vote. Hey, that's not too bad. Not even an hour, not even a couple of hours later, Tom Emmer drops out of the. It's the same day he got nominated and he quit the same day, which I got to say that's pretty fast. That's finally we got government working on at a good clip here. Trump says, I killed him. How Trump torpedoed Tom Emmer's speaker bid. So let's see. He got on Twitter and he says Tom Emmer is totally out of touch with the Republican voters and he's a globalist rhino. So if Trump calls you a rhino, MAGA says, fuck those guys. By Tuesday,
Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say this right here. By Tuesday afternoon, Trump called one person close to him with this message. He called him. He said, he's done. It's over. I killed him. Okay.
I think in your spare time, you need to watch Trump videos.
Yeah, I need to.
If you can get his cadence and his inflections, Trump has a weird cadence, like Christopher Walken has a weird cadence in the way that he speaks. And if you can get Trump's cadence down, you really don't even you could nail him. You could nail him because you really don't have to bring your voice up a little bit. You just got to put in that kind of that New York. He don't have
who's good at
New York accent, but he's got that New York slice on the end of his words.
Yeah.
Some of those
that the guy on Twitter, I guess he's on Twitter. I don't know where else he is. He's on Twitter though. Sean, I think it's like Rasha or something like that. And he sounds exactly like Donald Trump. So Yeah, I don't know if you've seen this guy.
Any of these
hilarious.
people that what was his name? Caliendo, Frank Caliendo. Any of those guys like that, and these people that I see on YouTube that can mimic other people perfectly, I've always been in awe of that, because I can't mimic people, but I can do voices. I can do 1,000 different voices, but I can't. It takes me a while to mimic a person. I have to work on the person. But some people can just like that.
There's another impersonator that I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos of. His name is Charlie, and he does these Star Wars videos where he impersonates Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn and Anakin, and the three of them sit around. He do single camera of each one, and he just cuts between them. And so the three characters are sitting around watching Star Wars movies and episodes of Ahsoka or whatever. And Qui-Gon never really quite gloms onto the fact that Anakin becomes Darth Vader. It's pretty hilarious. And he sounds just like these guys. And then he does this face what is it, deep faking stuff, where so he puts their face on his face, and he sounds I'll send you the link later. It's funny. All right, anyway. So if Tom Emmer's not going to be our Speaker of the House, who's next up on the chopping block today? I believe they're going to try to make a man named Mike Johnson the new Speaker of the House. He's the fourth nominee to be Speaker. He's the Vice Chair of the House GOP conference. He won a nod just hours after the Tom Emmer was nominated and then forced to drop out because of opposition. Tuesday marked 3 weeks since the historic ousting of Speaker McCarthy, and basically we've had no speaker since, and it's been pretty great, pretty good. Here's what you need to know about Johnson. Here you go. Here's this is Mike Johnson right here. This fellow right here. He served time in the Louisiana House of Representatives from 2015 to 2017, and he was elected twice without opposition. While in the Louisiana House, he was appointed vice chairman of the State House Judiciary Committee and to the Select Committee on Leadership. He proposed a controversial bill in 2015 named the Marriage and Conscience Act that some saw as discriminatory towards the LGBTQ plus community, according to the Shreveport Times. So that man right there is going to, I'm sure starting today we'll see a bunch of stories about how he's anti-LGBTQ or something like that. Who knows? All right. So that's our next person to not become Speaker of the House. So Deke posted this story he posted a link to this New York Times opinion piece about millennials and Gen Z.
Well, I want to point out something before that.
Yeah? What you want to say?
Let me point out this story. Let me bring up this story before that story.
Okay.
All right. So because this is what we call brainwashing, these brainwashing techniques we've told you about. So I'm rearranging the stories to brainwash your head right now.
Put some thoughts in our brains.
Pointing it out to you so that you're smarter than I am in the future. Okay. This is what we want.
All right.
Smarter. All right. New York Times rehires Hitler praising freelance journalist Solomon Hiji to report on the Israeli-Hamas war. This Palestinian filmmaker hailed the Nazi leader as recently as 2018 in a social media post when he shared a photo of himself captioned with "in a state of harmony as Hitler was during the Holocaust." So I just wanted to point out that the New York Times has rehired this guy. Now, let's move on to a story from the New York Times, an opinion piece that JJ said about millennials and Gen Z are tilting left and staying there. I don't give two craps what is in this guy's opinion.
Yeah.
I don't care. That is his opinion, and opinions are like assholes. We all have one.
It seems like
most of them stink. Right.
It seems like this is contrary to some other, notions that have been floating around that the younger generation is actually inclined to be slightly more conservative.
That's what I thought. That's the first thought that went through my mind when I read that headline, JJ. I thought, well, That's contrary to what I've been hearing and what I've been seeing from my children. My children are far more left. Than my oldest daughter is far more left than I am, but it is because of the world in which she was raised in. It is not because of the way what we have taught her, because when she goes down to her base, she goes down to what we have taught her. But she is more left leaning than I and her mother are. You know, we will have conversations about things before, and I have caught myself starting to get a little perturbed and have to check myself, because this is my daughter. She lives in a different world, and I did not live in this world. I did not experience her environment, right? I had my own environment. So I have to respect her opinion, but at the same time, I'm wanting to go, that's not how it is. You're only 18. You know? So I think
I don't know. I mean, look, we all isn't there a saying? There's a saying. It was maybe it was Chamberlain. If you're not left when you're young, you have no heart. And if you're not conservative when you get older, you have no brain. Like, we all start left. And then as you grow up a little bit, and as you exit the fantasy world that you literally spend your entire life in, as you exit that and have to make tax payments, mortgage payments, I don't know, rent.
When you have to start making tough decisions, when you have to start making decisions that are tough decisions that you don't want to make, that you have to be an adult, you know? Yeah.
Sorry. That's the real world.
Hey, I got another one here for you. Since we're staying on the same type of subject.
Okay.
And I just
social stuff, or you're not migrating over to a war, are you?
Do what?
I thought you were. Go ahead. I said, are we still on social stuff, or are you going to move over to the war? Maybe we had a break up there.
War. Weren't we just talking about it?
Okay, go on.
All right, go ahead. Steer the fucking ship. I don't care. Go ahead. I close my story.
Do whatever. Do whatever. Go.
Close the story. Go.
Closed it. Why are you closing it? I was trying to get to this very important ACLU lawsuit, and then we can talk. We got
awesome
war and jihad stuff.
I'm excited.
You should be. You should be, because if it wasn't for people like the ACLU, you wouldn't have the right to give people AIDS.
This is the ACLU shit in the history of shit. The ACLU is the dumbest shit ever. And if you're going to a prostitute, first of all, you have no goddamn willpower. Learn some fucking willpower. Jesus fucking Christ. You need sex that bad that you have to go to Jesus Christ. And second of all, if you're going to a prostitute and you're not thinking you're going to catch something, that's just low IQ. Is all that is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
End of story.
And if the prostitute you're choosing is transgender and is advocating to give people HIV, and you're still a customer, like, that's dumb. All right. We don't have to talk about it any more than that. I just thought it was it's absolutely insane that we have transgender prostitutes trying to get people HIV.
And this, folks, is the yin and the yang of me and JJ. I saw that story and I'm like, okay, that's dumb. And that's the first thing that went through my mind was, I was like, dude, if you're going to a transgender prostitute and you don't get a disease,
that's when you won. Except you lost. You also lost. If you go to a transgender prostitute and you don't get a disease, you still lost.
JJ, if you're thinking about going to a transgender prostitute, you've already lost. Okay, you lost a long time ago. Okay.
Yeah. It's not good. All right.
That's a human. That's a biological, natural urges, is those reproduction, sexual urges. And one of the ways that makes us differentiate from the animals is being able to withstand those urges and being able to have some willpower.
Yeah.
That doesn't make up the entire world.
So there's one question that comes out of the story that I'm going to ask you. So the ACLU is suing Tennessee because of their aggravated prostitution statute, which targets people with HIV that are being active prostitutes and with a harsher punishment than normal, and puts that person on a lifetime sex offender registration. Should HIV active prostitutes be put on sex offender registrations?
If they're doing it on purpose, yes. If they are prostitutes and they find out that they have HIV and they
probably
continue, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, the ACLU is saying that it's unconstitutional and disproportionately affects Black and transgender women.
I would have never guessed in the whole world that the ACLU would have helped defend this subject. The Anti-Christian and Liberals Union, no way.
Personally, I did not know that people that use the services of transgender prostitutes screened their people with the sex offender registry. So I mean, it's good for at least there's some screening going on. Good for those people.
And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the jihad.
I just wanted to bring up this story. I just wanted to bring up this cool story because we talked about it yesterday. All right. This is I'm pulling a JJ here. I'm learning from you, my sensei.
Oh, yeah?
JJ, one thing about JJ that I've learned over the past 10 years.
One of us is an award winner.
JJ likes to weave together his stories. He likes to plant a seed here and water it here and see the tree here. So last week JJ talked about Quentin Tarantino being stuck over there.
Yeah.
And then the next couple of days, we talked about this story about this Jewish squad going and being organized.
Kill team. The Neely.
To kill the paratroopers that come into that festival.
Yeah.
So we made the remark and the joke about not Reservoir Dogs, but Inglourious Bastards 2.
Yeah.
And you were like, Quentin is over there. All right. He's already over there and they're doing this.
He should make the movie. Okay.
You
got a twist. You got to break. Can you break the story?
I've got the 2023 version of Inglourious Bastards.
All right.
A squad of female Israeli Defense Force combat troops that have eliminated nearly 100 Hamas.
Holy
what about
shit.
that, JJ? Yeah, that's what I had to say.
Okay, this is from the Jerusalem Post.
This is from the Jerusalem Post.
Look, you ever heard there's no fury like a woman scorned?
Yeah.
And Israel gave a bunch of these women rifles. They were like, go kill those assholes.
Any man that has been married for longer than a week knows that.
Gee, golly.
I just saw that headline and I thought, that's the Inglourious Bastards 2. You have Jewish women attacking these Hamas terrorists. They're not only Jewish, but they're all Jewish women.
Man, I mean, honestly, I don't even really know what to think about anything going on over there. Just because, we don't live in Israel, we don't live in Gaza, we don't know what the situation is. Is Palestine oppressed? Is Israel being? I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that I saw videos of assholes flying parachutes in and murdering people, and I was like, "Fuck them! They get them. Go get those guys if you need to." But so this woman,
JJ's having some.
What?
I think you're having some connection issues this morning.
I think so too. Am I choppy?
Yeah.
This woman led a squad in southern Gaza. That's the bottom part. That's down by Egypt. She took a squad down there and was fighting off Hamas terrorists. Now, I will say this is from the Jerusalem Post. Jerusalem Post probably has a bias towards Israel, so they may be painting things in a positive light. Who knows?
Right. You have to keep that in consideration.
What do you think about the fact that like everybody in Israel has to be in the military for some period of time, like obligatory service?
If Texas was constantly fighting with New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Arkansas all the freaking time, okay, all the time for 4,000 years. Texas has fought with New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, and they were like, every Texan has to spend at least 4 years in the military. What would you think about that?
I mean, on the one hand, like, I don't like the fact that, you know, a government or something can steal your liberty for any period of time.
If Illinois and Tennessee were attacking us in Kentucky for 4,000 years, and every single person that I've ever known, I will also say
a
way of life. At this point,
I don't like the fact that like women have to serve. You know, but that's me being a chauvinist, right? That's me being like a sexist person. Like, women shouldn't have to fight. Men, if anybody has to fight, men should have to fight. Women shouldn't have to fight.
Right.
But, you know, and that's not the way it is here. And in the U.S., which
can be viewed in two different ways: as you being a chauvinist or you being a chivalrous. You could be chauvinistic or chivalrous, in both of that. It just depends on the way you look at it. Because I've done that before. I was taught chivalry. You know. Walking closer to the edge of the traffic and waiting to let old people glow up. You know, I was taught all that stuff. Opening and we went through an era where that is looked at as chauvinistic. And I used to have to say, I'm not being chauvinistic. I'm being courteous. I'm being chivalric. I was taught to do this for old people and women, and to be. That's just the way I was taught.
Mean, so Israel has this culture of like, everybody has to serve, and that's women too. And here we have an example, purportedly, you know, by their own claim, that these women are effective soldiers. And I think back to the time when I was in the military, and I was like, they were not effective soldiers. They, you know,
dude, are you crazy? Ashley was in the freaking army. I'm scared to hell of her.
Yeah, but, you know, like, they had different standards, and now the standards have collapsed entirely. You know, they had different standards for females back then, and the female standards were not as high. The women are not as strong. They can't carry as much. They can't, you know, move as fast. Things like that. We don't
need that anymore in the modern day army. We do not need that anymore.
Well, in the modern day army. Our modern day army. You know, there was a report that was circulating a couple of days ago. Our modern day army, our military, 68% obese. 68% obese.
They're sitting there flying drones on their phone.
I guess so. I don't know.
I've talked to a lot of veterans about this. Switching back, I know that you said we don't like to talk about this. We kind of want to do the out of sight, out of mind thing for this, but we can't really. You know, we always have to address it, even though it is a terrible situation that's going on.
Yeah,
it's affecting. I've reached my Reuters limit, so we just have.
I got it available.
Oh, this is all it is. It's just 2 little paragraphs. But a Congo machete attack. Suspect Islamist militants killed 26 people with machetes in an overnight attack in this little town. They attribute the killings to the ADF, a group originally from Uganda, now based in the eastern Congo, which has pledged allegiance to the Islamic State. The state militant group, they attack frequently. This is going on, and that's, I mean, that's right there in their backyard. You know,
how long until that backyard is our backyard? How long until
the election? We have the election is almost a year away. So we've got a year.
We got a year. You think so?
Yeah.
And then
something will happen within the year, because it will stop the election. They will do something.
Oh, you think so? You think they're going to suspend? Yeah,
there's 6 million immigrants that's come in the past 3 years. To me, that is moving your freaking knight over here, your rook over here, your freaking bishop over here, your other bishop over here, because you're fixing to make a planned attack. Is all this is to me.
I definitely think somebody has a plan, but I don't think it's the Biden administration. I don't think it is the United States government. I think that some other people have definitely got some plans, though. Let's see. We got some celebrity news and we got some cool shit. Which one you want to do?
Let's do some celebrity and then do cool shit.
All right, let's get this sad story out of the way. We talked last month, I think, about Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis has been you haven't seen him in movies lately. He's been
he's had dementia.
Retreating. Yeah. And his family recently found out the diagnosis. So I think it was around Christmas time or just after. We saw some holiday photos of them and their family. Bruce Willis has been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia. So like that's something at the front of your brain. It was announced last year that he's been diagnosed with aphasia, and then they know that the aphasia is actually frontotemporal dementia. So his family put out a statement that he's going to be stepping back from his career, and basically we're probably not going to see any more, Bruce Willis stuff ever. People with frontotemporal dementia under 60, it's the most common form of dementia, and the diagnosis can often take years to even figure out that they have it. So there is Bruce Willis. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, we may see his family post like photos and stuff like that, but
so
I think isn't aphasia where you can't remember people's names or faces?
Yeah.
And now, that's terrible.
I thought aphasia was where you mix up words.
Oh, is that where you get your words mixed up?
I say apple, but I say whale. I might be wrong on that. I think that's what aphasia is.
Okay.
Do you remember the movie that Bruce Willis starred in called In Country about the Vietnam veteran?
I never saw that.
Okay, it's really good. Watch it because that movie was filmed primarily in Western Kentucky. It was filmed in the county over, Graves County, where the big tornado went and destroyed that town, Mayfield. It was filmed around Mayfield. But this was back in the early 90s and maybe the middle 90s when that movie was made. I can't remember off the top of my head. But Bruce Willis was here. Demi Moore was here because Demi Moore was pregnant with Rumor at the time. Rumor Willis was born at Paducah, at Lourdes Hospital in Paducah, and she went into labor while she was here. But Bruce Willis, I've talked to a lot of people over the years that were like, "Oh, I met Bruce Willis when he was here," or "Yeah, he rode motorcycles around this town," and every single person says, "Oh, he was super nice. He was super nice to us. Super nice." I haven't heard one person say any negative thing about. And I've heard over the years a lot because he was here for months. So you might go to a freaking little restaurant and see Bruce Willis sitting there in the restaurant. It was really cool. So everybody's always said something really cool about Bruce. I've got a story here that is along the celebrity edge that will make every dad out there that's watching the show and every mom that was a kid in the 90s, I'm going to make you feel old right now. All right. Do you remember Kurt Cobain's daughter, Frances Bean?
I do remember them, especially being in the news, especially right after his demise.
Yes,
she was showed
her that she was just a little bitty baby.
Yeah,
that's Frances, and this is Tony Hawk's son Riley. They just got married.
Wow, what are they? 20 something there?
Frances Bean is 31.
Holy shit! Oh my god!
I'm sure Riley's about that age.
What?
Look, though,
31.
She looks like a perfect mixture between Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love. Courtney Love, when she made herself up and looked nice, was a very beautiful woman. And Kurt Cobain, I can see Kurt Cobain's. She's got his wavy hair and she's got his face, but she's got her mom's cheeks and mouth and eyes. So, and then there's Tony right there. Tony Hawk. I guess his son looks like Tony too.
He looks just like his dad. Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, there's Kurt. I'll say that. So there's Kurt, and then there's Frances. See, she looks very much 31. Like her dad. Jeez. Look,
hold on.
Look at you.
Hold on, now.
There, man.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Congratulations.
That picture right there is from the MTV Nirvana Unplugged.
Oh, yeah.
Still
seen
one
it
of
so many times.
Yeah, still one of the greatest things you'll ever witness. So good. Yeah, Ashley sent me that last night. She's like, Frances Bean just married Tony Hawk's son. And I was like, well, thanks for making me feel 46 tonight. Jesus Christ.
We got one eco story, and then we'll talk a couple cool shit stories. Apparently,
soon, probably.
Oh, you're gonna have to go? Okay.
I'll have guests coming in.
All right.
Not yet.
Let's all right. So, we know that California is saying, hey, you have to have electrical cars by 2035 or whatever, and no more gas cars. And, we don't know how we're going to put electricity in those cars, but we'll figure that out later. And, it's electrical, everything, no gas stoves, better. Okay. So experts say that we need 50 million miles of new power lines for green energy. And that might be impossible. Some estimates say that the U.S. needs to build over 700,000 miles of transmission lines to reach its renewable energy goals, enough to go around the globe 2,000 times. A 700-mile transmission line starts in Wyoming, costs $3 billion, and it took 15 years to clear regulatory permits. So how are we going to do this green new energy future with no power lines? Much less putting power into it.
Mad Max.
Wait, are we going to use electric vehicles to haul this cables everywhere and put up these?
We're all owned by Bill Gates anyway. He owns the most land in America. He's going
farmland, right? He owns the most farmland. I thought.
I think he owns the most land.
All right. Let's okay, so here's some interesting stuff. You like dinosaurs, right? Everybody loves dinosaurs, especially when they're care.
I don't know why I did a pirate, but I like pirates and dinosaurs. Obviously.
Dude, comic book pirates riding dinosaurs.
That can happen in Dungeons and Dragons, by the way.
Somebody wrote that down. Okay. Apparently $1 million in dinosaur bones have been stolen from Utah and shipped to China. China's stealing our dinosaur bones. China, look, the people of China. No problem with you.
What's going on is
that China
they've realized that these certain dinosaur bones still have this ability. They have this ability to extract the DNA from the dinosaur bones. So they're getting certain bones and stealing certain bones and getting them over there so that they are slowly recreating an army of velociraptors and Tyrannosaurus Rexes, so that when these Chinese super soldiers will be riding on top of the Tyrannosaurus Rexes and velociraptors, and there'll be different squads. You'll have some on pterodactyls that'll be flying.
Makes sense.
It's a Chinese dinosaur army.
You'd have to have Chinese super soldiers. Like normal people can't ride dinosaurs. You can't control the dinosaur, but Chinese super soldier might be able to.
Idea right there's the comic. Pirates and dinosaurs. It's the Chinese.
All right.
Super soldiers.
150,000 pounds of resources. I thought you were going to be like, oh, the Chinese think that they're medicinal or something. They're going to grind up dinosaur fossils.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Fossils are just rocks. They're just rocks. There's no bone left. It's all right. Whatever. 4 people have been charged with purchasing, transporting, and exporting dinosaurs from federal land. Stealing our dinosaurs. All right. Here's the last story. Researchers have discovered. Let me see what you think about this. I don't know what I think about it. A 1,300-year-old tattoo of Christ in the Sudan. Check this out. First of all, it looks really hot. And that that's a little, yeah. I mean, that looks pretty hot to me. Like, I don't know that I would want to be there. Okay, a tattoo was discovered by Carrie Gilbalt of Purdue University, who was using the Polish Center of Mediterranean Archaeology's bioarchaeology lab at the University of Warsaw to study medieval mosaic site of Ghazali, Sudan. Let's see. And she'd been working at Cemetery 1, studying human remains contained at the archaeological site when she noticed something on one of the feet of one of the bodies. Here's a little photo of it, and then here they enhance the photo somewhat. It is a alpha and an omega and a little Christogram, which together are a monogram abbreviation for the name of Jesus Christ. The discovery marks the second time ever that tattooing has been seen in medieval Nubia, which is now modern-day Sudan, according to the press release, and poses so many questions about the culture and practices of people who once lived there. The individual probably lived between 667 and 774, according to radiocarbon dating. So, Deke's been raptured. Oh man, that's terrible. It's quite a surprise to see all of a sudden what happened to be a tattoo when I was working at the Ghazali collection. At first, I was not certain, but when the images were processed and the tattoo was clearly visible, any initial uncertainties were removed. The location of the tattoo is where Christ may have had the nail driven through his foot during the crucifixion. That is kind of cool. So somebody put a Christogram on their foot where Christ would have had a nail through his foot. I bet David thinks that's cool. All right, folks. Oh, Deke's not gone yet. He's about to go. Hey, Deke.
Yeah, I've got my show that's going to start.
Yep.
I had one more story that you're going to love from Secret Stash, but nope, I'm going to save this one for tomorrow. Man, you're going to love this one. This one will be at the end of the show tomorrow. So, reminded folks, join the Discord server over above JJ's head. You will see the QR code. You can join the Discord server. We have lots of cool conversation. You'll see Deke's playlist in there. Memes. And you can give JJ a dad joke because he's using a 1990s box set that he bought from Goodwill. So he desperately needs
amazing. This thing's full of great jokes. It never ends. I got a joke on topic. So you go ahead and then I'll do mine.
Okay. All right. I'll do my joke first.
Sure.
All right, JJ, you know that when your girlfriend comes home and she's in a white suit covered by bee stings and smelling like honey, you know she's a keeper.
Oh, that is a spaceship sound. I did. Sorry. Okay. Wow. All right. How much does a corn of ear? I'm sorry. How much does corn on the cob cost on a pirate ship? How much does corn on a cob cost on a pirate ship?
Would it cost $1 an ear?
I give you
21 and oh yeah. I'm not going to count that one. That's a freebie.
All right.
All right.
No, that's all I got today. I'm not going to do another one. That's too bad.
We'll redeem it.
Thanks for watching. Tomorrow. Subscribe. Share the show. Trick the internet. Make them think that we're popular. It's too late for that now.
I got to go.
Bye.
Bye.